Let's get into some actual NFL draft stuff here. Looking at offensive rookie of the year and defensive rookie of the year candidates. You wrote an article for PFF.com looking at some of the best bets to make, because obviously it's tough when you're the offensive rookie of the year. The favorite's obviously Trevor Lawrence. We're not gonna be like, oh man, this is who it should be. It's like, no, Trevor Lawrence is gonna be the favorite. What was your best offensive rookie of the year bet? And obviously was it Trevor Lawrence?
So the odds are right now plus Trevor Lawrence plus 300. Obviously the favorite. Justin Fields, Trey Lance plus 600, Zach Wilson plus 700, and then Najee Harris plus 800. Because if you go back and look, quarterbacks and running backs dominated.
Yeah.
The one, because statistically, quarterbacks get sort of deference in the rookie of the year voting. Mm-hmm. Like if they have any sort of good season whatsoever, usually it goes to quarterback. Like Kyler Murray got it a couple of years back when statistically he was not even like a top 15 quarterback in the NFL.
Josh Jacobs was like supposedly.
And Josh Jacobs, had like over 1,200 yards. So it gives deference to them. But then obviously running backs hit the ground running quite literally compared to other positions in terms of how well they translate to the NFL. So then they obviously get pumped up in these as well.
Gotcha.
But I think this year could change. It could be a little bit different this year because we got some.
Because I definitely think Justin Jefferson should have won it last year.
Yes. Oh, I agree. I mean, that season comparatively to wide receivers historically was different. But
it was literally the most receiving yards in a rookie season ever.
But I will say that Jamar Chase and Kyle Pitts, I think, have legitimate shots. Now, they're not in the top, 6 here for the offensive rookie of the year. But if I was going to put down a bet, Trevor Lawrence plus 300 still feels like a great bet.
True.
Because, one, he's got a fairly good situation for development. He's not surrounded by shit talent. Like they have DJ Chark, they have Laviska Shenault, they have Marvin Jones Jr., they have Tim Tebow, tight end. Ever heard of him?
Travis Etienne.
They have an offensive line that's, while not great, they were 21st ranked last year, and bring everybody back. And I obviously added Walker Little in the second round as well this year. So he can succeed right out the gate, which was his biggest thing. Was he was the most NFL ready of the bunch, should be translating from day one. So, man, going anywhere else, even with him being the heavy favorite here, you're just like banking on injury for Trevor or like something.
Yeah, exactly.
He's going, like, I would believe, and he's also in a situation where not a lot of these other rookies are going to be starting day one. So that still is my favorite bet to make.
No, it has to be. I think that makes the most sense. It's not going to be plus 300 for long. You know, it could probably get into like a couple weeks into the season, and you're going to see it drop to like the plus 200 range and stuff like that. What was your second best offensive rookie of the year bet?
So I don't love any of the other quarterback bets.
Really? I really like Mac Jones plus 1,000. Like, I know he might not start, but like if I'm going to bet, I like the longest odds on any rookie quarterback. You know what I mean? Like he has the longest odds of any rookie quarterback. Right now it's Trevor Lawrence at plus 300, Fields at plus 600, Lance at plus 600, and Wilson at plus 700. It's like Mac Jones at plus 1,000.
But he's the one where, so Justin Fields, and even if Trey Lance, I don't love the plus 600 for Trey Lance. Like Justin Fields, he could start early because Andy Dalton could come in and suck, out the gate. Sorry, Quinn. He doesn't have a mic today, but he's got to hate Andy Dalton slander here. But he could come in and suck, and then Justin Fields comes in week 2, week 3, early on in the season. Whereas with Lance and Jones, I don't see Jimmy Garoppolo because, like, even in Kyle Shanahan's offense, if he's starting out the gate, he's not going to absolutely be rough. And we saw them starting with the Lions week 1. You know, they're not going to be. Yeah. It's not going to put the boots to Jimmy Garoppolo and really put him on the bench soon. Mac Jones with Cam Newton starting, Cam Newton's going to be fine. Like he's not going to be losing them games out the gate where they're going to be like, okay, let's switch to Mac Jones.
I don't know. Like there's a lot of injuries. Cam Newton gets hurt all the time. But at plus 1,000, that's what I'm saying. But it's like it's the longest odds of any QB. Like if I'm going to take my second favorite bet after Trevor Lawrence, I think is Mac Jones, and hoping that you're plus 1,000, you're hoping that Cam Newton either sits for some reason and Mac Jones comes in and lights it up.
Sounds like you're hoping that Cam Newton gets injured.
I'm not hoping.
That's what you're skirting around what you're saying. But my second favorite bet is Jamar Chase at plus 1,100. Because Jamar Chase is going to put up numbers. We're going to talk about the rookies who went to the best situations for themselves. Jamar Chase is top of that list.
Yeah.
In terms of utilization, obviously the rapport he's already got with Joe Burrow, and an offense that's going to be fucking throwing the ball a lot this year because the defense ain't any better than it was last year, really. So.
I think the
that's my
Jamar Chase
favorite
bet is good. I'd be nervous putting money on a 9 QB. I think if I was to put money on a 9 QB, I'd go right next to him. Kyle Pitts plus 1,100 because I think the reason why you look at the last non-quarterback that won Offensive Rookie of the Year, Odell Beckham Jr.
Odell Beckham in 14. Yeah.
In 2014, that was because like in addition to having insane yardage totals, he was also like insane, like in highlight reel. Like people watched games. People watched the NFL because Odell Beckham Jr. was playing. I think Pitts could have that level of impact on like the narrative. And I think that's a weird thing to talk about. Well, when you're talking about betting, like and awards like this, like that's what people look for.
Buzz
people want
matters.
people want buzz. And Kyle Pitts, if he like suns like 3 dudes in the red zone and like has a couple 3 touchdown games and does things a rookie tight end hasn't never done, I think that's gonna like could dominate the narrative. Especially because this guy has the hype of like best tight end prospect anyone's ever seen. If he lives up to that expectation, people are just gonna be like puking all over themselves to like vote for him in.
Pitts at plus 1,100 is my third favorite bet out of this list. And a lot of it's because we've seen him do what it would take for him to put up, you know, he'd have to get in the 1,000-yard range at tight end rookie right out the gate, which, again, that's an offense that's going to be throwing a lot. Like the Falcons, their defense in that division especially, it's going to get lit up. So Kyle Pitts, there's a lot of mouths to feed, yes, in that Atlanta offense, but there's going to be a lot of balls to go around. So we've seen him do it. Like he averaged 3.22 yards per route outside in 2020, 3.84 inline, that inside-outside versatility. That's what it takes to produce like that at the NFL level. And that's what Pitts brings to the table. So
also in a situation where Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley were battling injuries last year. If that happens again and Kyle Pitts takes over, I mean, my God, it's going to be a fun year coming up. I think my least favorite bet, if I can add that, my least favorite bet inside, the first 8, because I don't want to be like Terrace Russell Jr. plus 5,000, but Najee Harris plus 800, I am not touching. That offensive line is bad. That offense is not going to be great. I doubt he puts up the yards, even a better season than what Josh Jacobs had, right? I mean, that would be the situation we're in.
Well, it's the efficiency that's going to,
he's going to be under 4 yards per carry probably.
I just, behind that offensive line, he would have to be like a vastly different running back than even we saw at Alabama. Like you're just not going to put up numbers by the offense. I don't care who you are. AP in his prime. You're going to be hampered. That's how much run blocking fucking matters in the NFL.
No, it's true. You're not wrong.
So,
all right, let's jump now to Defensive Rookie of the Year. Your favorite bet for Defensive Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, my favorite bet for Defensive Rookie of the Year, I just like the chalkiest dude alive. But Micah Parsons at plus 400 is just...
It's plus 450 now.
Plus 450, sorry. Plus 450 is
easily the best bet. A linebacker wins so often because they rack up box score statistics that like standardized voters can get in on, like tackles. If Micah Parsons has 110 tackles and like a few sacks, forced fumbles, game, like he is the Defensive Rookie of the Year. That's exactly how this works.
Yeah, it leans towards either guys that are your elite pass rushers, your obviously the Bosa's, Chase Youngs of the world, who are like, we're can't miss edge guys. There's not one in this class.
Yeah,
like that, and there's not. So then after that, it goes to linebackers who rack up tackles. Maybe sometimes cornerbacks sneak in there. They get some pick numbers. You had Marcus Peters win back 2015, Marshawn Lattimore in 2017. But there's a strong deference over the course of the past 2 decades towards linebacker position in this award. So Parsons, say what you want about him and maybe some of his issues in coverage. He's going to rack up fucking tackles in the run game.
Absolutely.
He just going to. Like that. That is that guy's bread and butter. So I do think that still, even though he's obviously the big fave, going to be that guy and say that's who I'd want.
Man, all right, second best bet there.
Second best bet for Defensive Rookie of the Year. It's going to be a little off the wall. And it's because it's another guy we're going to talk about, my 10 best fits, is Sante Samuel Jr. with the Chargers. Now, path to the field, the only thing I might worry about here, but he's plus 4,000. You got a long shot odds here for a guy who I think he's going to get it. Could easily lead rookies in picks at the cornerback position, like in a scheme that is conducive to doing so, to where playing to his strengths there in Brandon Staley's defense in Los Angeles, that like he picks 5-6 balls as a rookie. It could be like that's easily all it could take to win the Defensive Rookie of the Year award, and at 40-1, that's good odds to me.
Yeah, 40-1. I think you have to slam that. Which of these edge guys? I know you have another bet you want to highlight, but which of these edge guys that would you take if you had to take them? Jalen Phillips plus 700, Kwity Paye plus 1,000, Greg Rousseau plus 1,600, and then Aziz Ojulari and Jason Owe or Adafe Owe are both at plus 2,000.
Yeah, the guy I'm listed as Jason. Let's just come on, get with the program.
I think I lean Pay there. Pay at plus 1,000. I think is the only edge I'd probably take because I do think, or Phillips though, it's tough, dude. Phillips,
he's such short odds though. Phillips plus 700.
Yeah,
so
he's literally the second favorite behind Michael Parsons.
So man, I don't know if I want to touch any of those.
You wouldn't touch any of them.
I just don't love.
Maybe the longest, Aziz.
I'd maybe lean Pay there.
Fair.
If I had to.
I think Pay is the best bet, plus 1,000. If you had to take an edge guy, but tell me your third favorite bet here.
My third favorite bet though is Nick Bolton because we got another long shot ish odds here, plus 3,300 for Bolton, and he's going to a place in Kansas City where I can start right away. I truly do. The highest grade linebacker in the SEC over the past 2 seasons. Let's see in stops. There was question marks about is he the high-end athlete that makes a difference? But again, it's like difference of coverage. That's not when you sort of defensive rookie of the year. It's going to be tackles, forced fumbles. I think he brings that to the table. And the thing about the difference between him and a guy like Willie Gaye, who they drafted in the second round last year, it's like Willie Gaye was behind the 8 ball developmental-wise, like picking up the speed of the NFL was going to be a challenge for him right out the gate, coming from Mississippi State where he barely played. Bolton, not the case. And I go back to a story, Bobby Slowick, who's the now pass game coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers, told me about London Fletcher at the end of his career with Washington. And I was like, why were you throwing out? Because he had come over from Washington linebackers coach to PFF when he first started at PFF. I was like, why was London Fletcher still out there? Because at the end of his career, couldn't move. It was like, dude, that linebacker, we have to have a guy who can get the calls in, make the adjustments. That's more important than anything you do post snap at linebacker.
Fair.
If you can get that shit down, you can see the field. If you can't, you will never be on the football field. I don't care how talented you are at the position. And I was like, oh shit, that actually makes a lot of sense. And you look at Steve Spagnuolo's defense, complex. And I think Nick Bolton's going to be able to pick it up right away. I think he is capable far more so than a guy like Willie Gaye. And I think you'd see him start over him in a heartbeat.
I'm going to give you another one that I like in a similar odd range as Sante Samuel Jr., Miami Dolphins safety Javon Holland, my guy, coming out of Oregon. I think he does see the field early there, though.
You and Maurice Jones-Drew love that bet.
I bet he does.